finish off my doffing tonight before I start talking about the Legendary bundle. Give my thoughts on it at least. This is not my normal setup either, so apologies, not the best gear, but what I want to do tonight is just get my thoughts out on the Legendary bundle. Been a big fan of them, especially since the first one came out. And a lot of mixed reactions on this one, but let me first kind of throw out there. I've been playing Stowe for about, I should say since 2014. I think that was before the Dyson Sphere episodes. Quite enjoyed those, and that was all before the big power creep. But yeah, been playing since then. Daily, I log in all the time. It's kind of like my wind down to the day. So, but I'm just gonna finish this off because part of my daily routine, like I'm sure like everyone's is, or most, is to do a little bossing around of your doffs or your fleets. I only do this once a day, but I do it because it's helped a lot with gaining in-game resources. Little by little. And just to show you an example of what years of grinding since 2014, the VOD Battle Zone events, multi-tunes, and of course when Admiralty came in, that probably almost got to 10 mil refined, and that's kind of across 6 tunes. The other tunes are lower, like 3, 2, 1. But you can see all the marks I've accumulated over the years. So if this runs out, still got all these to go through. Also, I did just convert to 50k Zen, but of course I use it to buy that new Legendary Bundles pack. So gonna have to make this last for a while. Exchange is just ridiculously high. But let me get this done. Because my OCD kicks in, I need to finish this. Sorry about that. Look at that, Endeavor's Unidever. Or 500 GPL in Dabo at Quarks. Easy, easy, easy. Oh, come on. So yeah, a little bit more background. I've always been a Star Trek fan, especially when I first saw it when I was growing up. I grew up in the TNG era, like most, but first ship I ever saw was the Enterprise D. So the Galaxy class, she holds a spot in my heart, that's for sure. Second ship I saw was the Refit Connie. So shout out to the Refit Connie. One of the greatest designs in Star Trek history. I might get some flack for this, but I'm not a TOS fan, and I'm sorry. The original Enterprise, I just couldn't. And I get it, it was obviously made years before TNG, but I couldn't. But I did jump all over the what I call the STD Connie, or what a lot of people call him, the Donnie. What a great update. She is beautiful. I prefer using the straight pylons, actually, as opposed to the swept back. Nothing wrong with that, just to me, lineage wise, it kind of gets weird. It goes from straight to back, and then, or was it, yeah, straight. They retconned it to go swept back, and then all that stuff. So anyways, I'm just gonna throw this out there just because, you know, I'm a Star Trek fan and I love this this game as well. And I did buy the original Legendary bundle. That was a great deal. 10 cannon ships. I think that they went out to like what, less than 2k Zen, and couldn't be happier. It felt like a very where am I here? A very worth it bundle for me, and I've been kind of fortunate. Anything that I've bought in game has been just through in-game resources. So just me grinding, me not buying everything that comes out. But yeah, they were cannon ships. They were done beautifully. Came out like at the right time. I can't believe it's been a year already. Jeez. But they're great ships, all of them, you know, and performance-wise, I'm sure people can get a lot more out of them if they really wanted to, and people have. I see some people from Stowe here have their channels, and yeah, they're showing off what they can do. Why in God's grace I can't find it? Oh, it's here. But yeah. So the 11th anniversary Legendary bundle. Mixed thoughts. So how I'm just gonna go through what we get from it, and give my thoughts. And this is gonna come from a perspective of a casual player. I don't chase the deeps. I play for fun. A lot of people play for fun, but my play style, I guess, is trying to emulate what we saw on screen. So you'll see any of my ships will have the specific, you know, faction weapons. So Federation. I'm a Fedi boy, by the way. Federation, so your phasers, your photons, your quantums of the red, bluish, white kind variety. that's what I'll do. For the most part, it's kind of how I've always built. I did, I can go meta, mostly like torps. I can do the torp builds, but even then I still put my own flair on it. I don't optimize it because I still want to, keep the whole theme going with the canon theme essentially. So, but actually, you know what I'm gonna do? Sorry about that. I can do better. I'm gonna go to a tune that I have these ships on, so I can at least look at them and talk on the same time. Who was that? That was you. Fun fact, the Prometheus was my first Zen Store ship. And one of my favorite Star Trek ships. Alright, let's bring this up. I'm going to ship Taylor here so we can get a really good look at this repulse. So, I'm going to start with this ship. There's probably, this view is probably the best one, but then when you start moving it around, for me, it starts to lose, again, just for me, it starts to lose any type of charm, I guess. The front view, it's great, I think. You can tell it's an Excelsior refits type redo. Not liking the Discovery nacelle types. It's not making sense in my head. The deflector, then you got prongs. Like, dude, we're not in STD era, but I get it. Of course, and thankfully you can use all the other skins, but I wouldn't be caught dead in space in this thing. And the only thing that I can say that I like about it, saucer. Kind of has hints of the walker with the recessed part of the saucer there, but it could have, man, they could have just done so much more with this. Anyways, again, I'm not a performance guy in STO. I play casually. So even when I'm playing, like, I'll stick 1 phaser, 3 torps, fore and aft. And if I really don't want to blow up my enemies that fast, what I'll do is I'll just strip it down. Take off 2 torps, so 1 phaser, 1 torp, fore and aft, and make it look like on-screen battles. So, but yeah, this skin, I'm not into it. What I was able to do was able to find a configuration that I was okay with, and it was really just changing the neck. Where'd it go? Repulse. And to me, what this did, kind of lowering the profile of the saucer, I don't know, it kind of made it more sleek. So I'd mess with this for sure. If they're refitting ships, I think it would make sense to me, at least in my head, to lower the neck and kind of make it like the Sovereign, right? But really, this is an old ship, but she's got some bite, and the fact that she's got, or this one at least, what is this one, Miracle Worker? I mean, I can make it work. For me, I wish it had command. It's better for me, but yeah. You know, for hours and STO, I've probably spent a lot more time just looking at ships rather than playing. But that's kind of, I was told when I started in Star Trek Online, Space Barbie is the true end game. I'd have to agree. But yeah, anyways, I'd mess with that. Definitely with any of the Excelsior refit. Resolute, no. This looks like a play school type. Sorry, we'll stick with this. And lower the neck down. Yeah, I just think that changes the whole feel of the ship from being... Oh, whoops. Neck. There you go. Like, it's a subtle difference, but God, it makes a good difference actually. So yeah, I'd mess with that. So I'm gonna see the changes on that. But yeah, I wouldn't use the skin for it. I just use that. Again, I've been fortunate enough to have been able to grab this and many other things on my account via just in, you know, years of grinding. Let's go to the Erasure class. The Ambi skin, by the way, well done, beautiful, nice chunky feel to it. Very Ambassador, like one of my favorite designs in Stowe, or Star Trek I should say, but yeah, in Stowe too. So let's look at the Horatio class. Thoughts on that? That deflector, I don't like it. And I said this the other night, it reminds me of the deflector on the Pathfinder when it first came out, the T6 version of the Intrepid class, Voyager ship. I don't like that. I wish we'd had an option to kind of remove that, but it is what it is. The split neck design, I've never been a fan of. Sorry, Oberth, but it's never been a thing. But with the Odyssey, especially with the Yorktown refit, they did something to the angle of it that I could mess with for sure. So, but yeah, so the Horatio class, there's some more angles that it looks good. Has a low profile, like it's not too high vertically. It's kind of squashed a little bit, but it still has some good, obviously some Federation hues to it. But side view, again, I wish I could take that out and maybe, but again, Federation ship. Aft view. Top, this kind of loses me. This little, almost like a diamond design. I don't know. I don't think I feel that as much. It just feels like it's too unnecessary, but it's there. What I do like is the very visual photon launchers. I do love my torps, by the way. Just saying. No ship in Stowe should be without a torp, but that's, again, anyone can do what they want here in Stowe. But yeah, not a fan. More of a fan of this than the Repulse. If I had to pick between the two, I'd go with this. Now, when they released the Narendra, I know about the Legendary ships, but it's here. So, yeah, I was really happy when they released this, because this hits all the right cues for me, at least. So, I think I put my tune in this for about a year, one of my tunes. Just messing with this and took it into patrols, those system patrols sometimes. But it's good. She's a good looking ship. But what I was able to find in terms of, if we can talk about, you know, kind of kit bashing, since kit bashing is a thing in Star Trek. Looking at you, half Voyager, half Maquis thing, Jaeger, whatever you are, Challenger, New Orleans, so it's a thing. If there was anything I could do, and again, it was just the neck that I found that can make this work. Where's that Horatio? And I think it also lowered the saucer as well. Neck, if I'm not mistaken. So Ambassador, yeah, it lowered it. And yeah, that works. I think that works as well, because it also feels like it kind of made the saucer go forward a bit, but it just kind of went down. But with how the neck was designed, it's starting further back on the secondary hull. Yeah, it's a whole different, and for me, I love this. So to me, those are torpedo launchers there, and there. Does she have in the back? Somewhere in the back here, I think. But anyways, yeah, this is how I'd mess with this ship. Not using the new skin, but the Narendra with the Horatio neck. It is what it is. Again, I can't, for the most part, it's like, to me, this was more of the canon design, and it would be more of a refit to do that, to do the split the neck design and bring it in line with some, like the Odyssey, not the Oberth, the Odyssey. So actually, I'll just save the changes on that. Sorry, someone's in chat. Could use a vote on the uniform, regular Discovery uniform, or the Discovery uniform of the TOS department. So disc uniforms with the TOS colors is my vote for the place holder. All right, so you know, we'll keep it on the ships. We'll keep it on the ships. So what I'll do is, that was the, so before I go to the KDV side, so the Federation things, I really think they could have made this pack, well, I know they could have made this pack full Klingon, but I'll save that part for later. For the Federation part, the Repulse, I'll make a tune, I'll stick a tune in the ship, just for that ship. With the new neck, you know, that would be my refit, because to me, it made it more slicker, I think. Same thing with the Horatio. So the repulse and Horatio, those are the configurations that I would use. Again, I'm a casual player. I do play every day. Like I said, I could chase the deeps I want, but I don't build every tune to that capacity as long as they look the part, especially with Federation. So easy. Phasers, photons, quantums, mostly photons even. I'm done. You know, do patrol here and there, and I build my ships enough that they can do the stow content. So, and like, say, the events, you know, those type of missions, Starbase 1, or the mirror event. I miss the mirror event. I really wish, like both. The reimagined one was good. I enjoyed it personally. There's just something about shooting down a bunch of Terran ships. But when I first started that original mirror mission, that was, for me, that was fun to do. Like, I'd always do it, especially when there was, I think there was a time they were cycling every hour or every other hour, that event, and you have a specific time that you can just play that, and I just remember just playing it over and over again. But anyways, so but going back to the legendary ship, sorry, I'm ranting. I do that a lot. I love my Star Trek. I love this game. So again, those two fed ships in the legendary bundle for the anniversary, I'd mess with them the way I refitted them, or I kit bashed them, I should say. Nothing special. I wouldn't put it on my main. I could build them if I wanted to, but they're just going to be there specifically to man the ships. You know, I wasn't big on alts on multiple tunes. In fact, I hated it, especially back then when you had to do okay, sorry, not you had to, but what I did was do every event on all 6 tunes. First, of course, 1, then go to 2 to 3, and then it came to the rotation about 6. And then it became 8. And then after that time, they started doing the account unlock, so you could do it once a day on your account, which has helped a lot. It cut down a lot of the grinding for myself. I think I have OCD, so whenever those things would come around, I would literally, I felt obligated that I had to do it. Because the rewards, the marks, the deal, and all that stuff. So I'll see the actual reward itself for that event. Because I think, and I can be corrected if I'm wrong, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, I think you actually had to do it on every tune to get the event reward. So there I go on around again. So again, if I had to give the Federation ships a score, both of them would be 2.5. And that's just in the top tier ranks of where ships are in my top list. I wouldn't say they're top 5, but they're there because they uphold the standard Federation design, you know. So may just go with regular disc uniforms. Canonically, I am unsure of what would make sense really, and might end up running a mix of the two. I was talking about the Horatio class. Friend in chat here, name's Horatio. good guy. Okay, so I'm gonna go to my KDF tune. My KDF recruit. My main was this guy, Jawar. But we'll get to him later. We'll go together. But my recruits are one's at level 21, one 6. The first one I actually made was this guy, just your regular Klingon. But then I realized you can have the SCD Klingon, so I made him second, but I stuck with him a little bit. And I was going to wait until the Legendary bundle drop. It didn't yet, but then they gave us this free ship. And yeah, that's what he's going to just fly. I love seeing Worf there. But yeah, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here, or I'm here. I just need to get this out because I can't talk Star Trek Stowe stuff with my family. They're just not into it. I can talk to my wife till I'm blue in the face and she'd just be looking at me going, yep, sure. So we'll go to this guy. Talk about the Burrell, the legendary Burrell. Refine 1002. So yeah, you know what? I'll mess with this. I like it. I didn't realize the wings went down, so I was quite surprised it did when I went to battle with it. But yeah, I like it. I wasn't a fan of Star Trek Enterprise, but when the NX and all the ships, of course we saw all the ships, I wasn't a fan of the NX either, but she grew on me. And it took a while, but she grew on me. One of my favorite ship designs now. And when I saw this bop, I mean, like, it's a bop. Looking at it in hand, in game, you know, I guess I could have done this. Get all the clutter out of my screen. Yeah, it's growing on me. You know, I like it. The only thing that I didn't like about it was how big the head part is of this of the ship. And then you have the cannons underneath, like the secondary hull. But it can, if I turn it this way, just so we have the planet as a background, so black there. If you look at it from the side, it's gonna shoot itself. Like, dude, well, it can, because if you look at it straight on, it's hidden underneath. But again, I'm sure this can move, I think, and yeah, it looks like it rotated. I did not notice these cannons on the side of the head. You know, I didn't realize that the Legendary Burrell would come with the quad disruptors. That was a welcome surprise. I'm not saying it made it worth for me, but she's good with those on. I feel, and it fits the part. I mean, look, cannon on the wings, underneath, and the head. But yeah, performance-wise, again, I'm not really a big performance person. I didn't talk performance of the other ships, but since I'm here now. 4-2, not a big deal. Expanded my weapon, cloak device. I guess the only one downside about this was this. This thing right here, the Universal Quantum Warhead Module, which I didn't realize is universal. So now I'm gonna stick that on some alts. Anyways, when this first came out, the core, the T6 core, it was originally firing photons. And the Fed side complained, which why wouldn't we? I'm a Fedi boy, so I'm more biased to the Federation. Just recently I started messing with the KDF because the year of the Klingon. But anyways, there was so much backlash, I guess you can say, on the forums, on Reddit and the official forums, that they changed it to quantum. But in doing so, they changed this to quantum. And like, in the stream that they had, the cryptic stream that they had on Twitch a couple nights ago, I think on Thursday, or Wednesday I should say, I remember because I was able to watch before doing something. They said they wanted to make these ships to how they were on screen, so canon. And I tried a couple times to say, hey, listen, if you're going to do that, could you change this warhead module to photons? Correct me if I'm wrong, I have never ever seen a BOP fire quantums. Nope. And we know they can do it because that's how it came out. They just changed the Defiant for the Defiant. But then the weird thing is, the Romulan version, forget the name of it, but the one you can get in the bundle, the first T6 3 batch of these ships, so it came in with the BOP, the TLIS, and the TLIS, was it TLIS? No. And the Defiant. Its warhead module was plasma. So, as the only thing for me, again, I say canon, but I keep it on here, but I don't really fire it as much. When I put this tune through its paces, it's not going to be, it's going to do enough to get through the story, that's about it, and finish all the tasks. I should say, oh, look at that. I finish a task. I ambush kill. That's going to take me a long time. God. What did I claim? Consoles. Where'd it go? Is it just lagging? Oh no, it's right there. That's it. And I should have just claimed it at a higher level, but I'm not what I'm seeing. Anyways, far from that. But yeah, what's important to me, like I said, let's just talk about the looks. Get this out of the way. Alt. So anyways, yeah, downside, that warhead module, like why keep it quantum? They had an opportunity to make it photon, my opinion at least. But I'm gonna mess with this. I was originally gonna keep him in just the original Brel. I'll mess with this for a bit. I like it. It's starting to grow on me. And it's something new, and sure, why not? Photon launcher there. It has aft launchers. Usually my rule is for any ship that I build in game, it has to have torpedoes fore and aft. And some ships actually don't have aft launchers. But I don't like using turrets in the rear. This may be an exception because actually, well, it doesn't look like it has a photon launcher. but it has a lot of cannons, and maybe I will put a turret on this. We'll do that next time. But yeah, this ship, it's all right. Can make a great torpedo boat. I am not, if I'm not mistaken, I think. Shout out to the Mr. What's his name? Augmented Games. I think he made this like perform really well with torps. So, but yeah, she's good. I'll mess with it. Well, obviously, tunes in it. So yeah, that's 3 of the 4 ships. So now let's go back to my main. No, sorry, my main KDF. You know, this guy I was planning to make him fly the board askew. The board was what I call it. And the one thing that disappointed me about the Legendary pack was they didn't include the board. Like, I'll get into that later, but he was all decked out, but this is the guy that has most of the toys, the upgraded equipment and all that stuff. Let's get away from all these. Ooh. This ship, it surprised me. Now, like I said, I'm not really into performance, but when I loaded it up with his stuff, man, I can feel like it shredded through patrols, like it shredded. So how I have this built, again, he has all the toys, but and again, trying to building it as how I saw it on screen. It fires cannons, dual beam banks, photons, green, red, and omnis in the back. So I still get my single beam action going on along with the dual beam bank. I'm pretty sure they fired 2 beams as well, like a dual beam bank type visual on the show. But anyways, again, he does, over the years I've just given him stuff, I've upgraded stuff. I know I said they shouldn't have quantum, but this console is sick. It came from the Titan. I'm just using it for the improved critical hit chance with weapons. But man, this actually should have been the console, in my opinion, that should have come on the Legendary Defiant, because when it fires, it looks like it's firing 2 quants. And the first time they released the T6 Defiant, they missed that opportunity. I think they should have given it this or something like this. But this console, man, like, it's funny seeing attack cube just lose its shields, and then everyone just rips it a new one. So I find that a great console. But anyways, yes, I put the quant on it, but I don't fire it, I promise. But she does well. I mean, I don't even know, 27. I don't think this is going to even pull 50k in an ISC. But again, it's not for that. I don't build my ships for that. At least this tune, I just, over the years, because he was my first KDF, I've upgraded his stuff here and there. So, but he'll never be like my main damage, my main tune. If I decide to go, I feel like just ripping things a new one. Like I said, I do have I do have meta builds that try to emulate what the top DPS is doing, but with my own flair. But anyways, let's talk about this ship. Man, I continue to talk about this ship. This thing surprised the crap out of me, like I said. She's great. She just shreds her performance. And command is one of my favorite powers. Command, at first I didn't like it because I liked high yield 2 when it fires at 3 quants. And one of the reasons why, I'm probably gonna get some hate for this, but Star Trek Nemesis Battle, Enterprise E and the Scimitar. The sound of 3 quants, even First Contact, that just coming out, just 3, I don't know, it just sings to me, I guess. But concentrated firepower grew on me, and if I'm not mistaken, the Excelsior in the movie fired just 2 torps, so at a time. So, and of course, it's one of like the meta powers to have, especially on the torp boat. But man, she performs well. But the important thing is the looks. She looks good. I love the addition of these things. I guess you can call them like disruptor strips or cannon stuff. But regardless, I didn't think I'd like it, but this is the ship that surprised me in the pack. Like she is just staying the way she is. And look, after pretty launchers, imagine that. Beautiful ship. And I don't normally mess on this side of Star Trek, like the Klingons, but you can't go wrong with the classic designs. And like I said, I'm a TNG boy, so she was in there, and I thought she was pretty cool. But yeah, great ship, great looking. She can do well, obviously, but I'd be happy enough to just put on an all to put up one of each weapon on it. Photon, beam, wow, cannons, and yeah, be happy with that. So we'll talk about, I want to talk about the rest of the items. Because I know, at least for people that I hang out with a lot, we talked about it for like just non-stop. My wife in the background just waking up from her nap. Sorry, hold on. I think I've decided for the uniforms now, for the disc air missions, that will stick with the regular disc uniforms post AOD. Man, you know, I love Horatio. He really goes into detail when he makes tunes. I really don't. If it just looks the part, I'm happy. But he kind of like goes into technical details and stuff like that. Good placeholder until we see what's on Strange New World, which I am excited about. You know, one of the things I worried about over the years was the health of this game, because I do love and enjoy playing it. So with all these Star Trek, now I'm not a big STD fan, not at all. Like, I was so disappointed. So disappointed with the hero ship. I can't mess with the Shroomobile. I just can't. The holes in the saucer, the whole spinny thing, I can't. I'm sorry, but I'll get into that later. But I'm going to finish this rant about the Legendary bundle and stuff. So bring it up here, talk about the rest of the items. So that's 4 ships. 2 Fed, 2 KDF. And to look at the rest of things. So, took care of all those. So I am gonna go in no particular. Let me go to Wharf. Wharf, I think for me, really sold me personally. Worf is one of my favorite TNG characters, and he did a real good job, I think, personally, in portraying a Klingon in the Federation. So he was always my favorite, and the voiceover he's done in this game, the VOs, I loved it. I think Step Between the Stars, loved what he did there, loved his work. So when I heard we can get Worf, especially with that account unlock, for me that was a cherry. I wouldn't say it was like the thing that brought me over. I was gonna get this regardless. Like I've gotten all the legendary bundles, but I'll get into that as well. I just wish we could kind of change what he's wearing, you know, kind of like the DS9 Worf. But I guess he is older and he is the ambassador. So for him to be on like a crew, he's an ambassador. So he'll mess with, you know, anyone who will take him, I guess. Not take him, but yeah, that I quite enjoyed having him on my KDF characters. That was awesome. So the one thing I really wish I could have made this more vocal somehow, either via thread or whatever. If you played that mission, Step Between the Stars, you get to control the obelisk. Was the obelisk? Yeah, I call it the Dinoskull ship. That's actually what I called my ship, Dinoskull. When you got to the space part, he had like special buff powers that you can't get in game. Like it would be so cool if he came with those powers. Like it's already in game, so why not just give it? And I think that if it was a thing that would perform well, I think this pack would sell a little better, especially to those who are chasing every ounce of DPS / performance they can get on their ship, because you use them anywhere. Because I think like one of the powers was like attack pattern Omega with Torp Spread and Fa, I think, or whatever. But all of his powers were unique. And I think he even had a power where you can just kind of go like evasive maneuvers almost. But anyways, that would have been sick if they would have just put that on this guy, on this buff, so that you can put it on and use it on a ship. I don't care about if he was like the most optimum trait, but again, could you imagine if this got to the hands of a DPSer who got the pack, all of a sudden it says this power is the power to have, because it's OP, because power creep, this probably would have sold better, my opinion. But for me, it's okay. To me, when I build my ships, really, I stay with the staple powers. So, beam overload, high yield 2, torp spread 1, 2, or 3, but torp spread 3 if I can. Of course, we'll go torp spread 3 because I love the amount of torps that thing spreads out. But emergency power to shields, to weapons, to engines, concentrated firepower. Everything else is kind of secondary, but as long as you can do those, beam overload, high yield torps, my favorite. I sometimes deal my ships with single power attacks, and to me it just gets me all giddy inside, and I love and I enjoy hearing, especially beam overload. I love beam overload. Fall's alright. I wish the Fa could also have the sound of a beam overload. That for me would be awesome. But anyway, so Worf, yeah, no, for him to be included in this pack, I like it, and I'm glad he's included. Just wish that we could have his powers that he has in game and in the code of the game. So can't tell me that we can't use it, because we did. So the Targ, I already bought them when they first came out, and that was just because trying to keep. I think it was cool, flaming freaking Targ. Then you partner them up with the laser Targ, the Latarg, and when you summon one, you get to the other one summon. So you, for 40 seconds, I think, for a minute or something, under a minute, they'll both be on screen. So you look so bad, so, like, you know, you look very menacing, I should say. But yeah, it's a good addition. I already had it, so whatever. The low buy, 500 low buy. Now, at first, it's like, man, that's like not enough to get a ship and blah, blah, blah. But with the sale going on right now, 50%, you can get a ship, a low buy ship for $450. So technically, you get, along with the 2 tier 6 coupons, which is, it's a bonus, technically, for 7 ships. I'm not saying to justify it, but guaranteed you can get these 4 new legendary ships, 2 T6 ships that you probably don't, that you can add to your collection, the ship that you probably wanted but don't have a Zen for it, and grab that. And then the low buy sale, paired it with the low buy sale, you can get a good low buy ship. I remember my first expensive ship was a low buy ship. I think it was the Vengeance. Great ship. It's dry docked right now, but she was my first ship, and then it came to the NX. I was able to get the NX, and then the Connie, the KT Connie. So with that, it was with this, I should say, it's a chance for you to get that 7 ship, or a bunch of cool consoles or whatever that are on sale for 50%. Man, in my time, I think this is the second time only. That's rare. Like, not even like on Christmas or any holidays, or, man, 50%. I have to remember to do that before this sale ends. And for me, I think I got all the ships that I wanted. I know I said earlier I'm not a performance guy, but I would get the ships to enhance my main, so via traits. And the 2 traits that I'm looking at are the one from the Sona Intel Battlecruiser, and the Primate ship, whatever that is, which extends beam overload, because more beam overload, obviously, more ship, ship, I'll say ship horn. Can I say ship horn? Did it. Because who doesn't want to extend their power? And I think it brings it down to like global cooldown, so you can just, yeah, it'll be 100% uptime. But for me, that's probably what I'll do with my low buy. I think I have 1900 anyways, so I'll maybe get some other consoles, perhaps weapons, uniforms. I don't mess with uniforms a lot. My space bar is usually space. Not necessarily like ground stuff, but just lately I've been getting into it. So I can, if there's one I'm looking at, it's the Kelvin timeline uniforms. So the updated version of the TOS uniforms. So yeah, 500 low buy right now. At this time, you can get a low buy ship. I'd still have 50 low buy left over for whatever you can buy with it. Actually, and then you get the keys, 11 keys. Wish it could have been more, but whatever. 11 keys is nothing to sneeze at, because I think that added 100 something low buy, so 600 something. So if we're talking about that and the keys, you can actually have a chance, very small chance. I think one of my friends, Horatio, actually, on his second key opening a box, got a Donnie. So it can happen. You are guaranteed, if you go the way of a ship with a low buy, 7 ships. And you have a chance at an 8th ship. Yeah, it's 2 ships short, but, and yeah, they're not legendary, but that's a low buy ship and a ship that you can get for trades, if anything, or for your collection. So again, that's what I did. I didn't get a ship, but it is what it is. The ship slots, the first legendary bundle came with 10. I don't know why they didn't make this 11. Like, they could have just easily. Anyways, I know they come in 2s actually, so that's why. Keep it at 10. Jeez. Throw in an extra key, whatever. But what I didn't like, and I'm glad someone told me before I bought this, was it'll auto apply to the toon character that you open it on. So I was gonna open this on my my KDF recruit, but that would have been a mistake, because he wouldn't have been able to use all that up. So I opened it on my main. So he's got 6 new slots open for future use. It's all right. I can easily use that for more storage of stuff, because I hoard a lot. I don't know why, but I do that because of salvaging and stuff, because for upgrading. But 6 ship slots, it's all right. I just wish they would have done what they did before. Why not make it come in 2? So 3 of those, and then drop into your inventory at the time, and then you can distribute it the way you want. I think it'd be a win-win, but what do I know? Let's see, the robes. Again, not a ground guy, but my STD Klingon, I put it on him, and it's cool. It's all right. I got a monk, KDF monk. I do prefer, because I didn't realize when it was on, I'm like, where's his hair? Because mine has hair, like Worf's. I use the new, whatchamacallit, the new Klingon hairstyles. Anyways, when I put the hood up, I had to remove the option or take the ridges off, and then it just covered. And if you can see, it actually covers the side of your hair, so the hair just stays in there. It's all right. I prefer the hood down look, much better, my opinion. Don't know where I use it or RP it anywhere, but I thinking going through the latest FE, that was one of the things that I enjoyed, actually, just seeing a KDF monk. So sure, why not? So the other thing here, what, master upgrades, 11 of them. So that's not a small thing, it's okay. That'll save you a lot of dill, or dill that you don't have to spend upgrading because you have 11 because you've used your dill to get this pack, or whatever, but it's all right. Again, I think I have 4 or 6 that I haven't used because there was just a point in time I just stopped obsessing upgrading everyone's stuff, and because if anyone's stuff has to be upgraded to the best, it would just be my main, that's it. So yeah, 11 master upgrades, nothing to really complain about. I treat my second and third, this guy being my third character, no, fourth, this guy's my fourth character. I went 2 feds, tactical eng, and then I went Romney and KDF. Anyways, I treat those 4 as the ones that I upgrade, and kind of everyone kind of goes down the list. So, and then the T6X upgrade, 6 of those. Again, why not just give us 11? I don't. Whatever. I still haven't used the. Sorry, I still haven't used the 4 that I got for free. Again, because I'd probably use them on my best performing ships, which would be on my main, and his top performing ships is like the Kelvin, which is that ship. It's pretty sexy. One of my favorite Federation designs. Anyways, I'd use it on that, but I would rather use it on a ship that is account wide. So if I decide another tune to use it or repurpose that ship for that tune, you would have the T6 upgrade. But probably a discussion for another time. But ships that are character bound. Sorry, character bound. That's why some people get very upset when there's a ship that comes out. You have to rely on RNG to get, or spend a lot of money to get it, and then it's only unlocked for 1 character. So I get it. And again, for me, it would have been better if all these RNG ships would be account wide, and this would make it so much better for me. But so overall, again, for me, I had the in-game resources to purchase this bundle, and I was saving for it, so I had Zen. I can see how a lot of people are not liking what they did, but I think Cryptic on the stream that they did said it was out of their control. They were just told, yeah, sell these ships. And they're like, what else? No, these ships. Like, oh. So you can't blame them. And I get it. They have to make money. And the timing, think about it, it's the first quarter of the year, so they had to drop it and try to stuff it to make it worth it. If I didn't have the resources and was in a position where the only way I could get this is, spend real life money, I probably wouldn't have gotten it. I've been very fortunate, like I said, just in-game resources have been allowed me to get this pack, even the other packs. The only real life money I've spent on Stowe was the lifetime subscription. Worth it, I think. I think I got my Zen's worth already. And the first 2 ships, the Galaxy and the Prometheus. If I knew then what I knew now, I wouldn't have bought the ships, to be honest with you. But whatever. I have them. Eventually got everything I wanted just through years of playing. You know, logging on daily and everything. And I understand why they did this. Is it worth it? Because I got it, I'm happy with it. But I wouldn't say if you're spending real life money. Because if you compare this to the original 10 ship legendary bundle, nah, man. I mean, that came in so cheap. What was that ship? Where is that? Legendary. I don't think it has an icon for that actually, because it's not in game right now. Is it? I don't think so. But anyways, it was the 10 cannon ships, and the ships that shined out for me in that bundle was the Sovereign and the Defiant. The Defiant, oh man, that ship. If there's any ship I can fly through a warp core like 90% of the time to just reenact what I see on screen, it'd be the Defiant. Just, I don't know, the quad cannons, I love her. Anyways, 10 ships at, I think the sale price was what, 19,500? So like the ships came under, at the sale price, they came in under 2 Zen, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that was like a no-brainer to get the ship. Even at, I think the full price was still like, yeah, because a T6 ship's what, 3,000 Zen? So you get all your cannon ships. Yeah, a lot of us had these ships already, but they made them legendary. And for me, I like my, they got me. I can't resist. I've bought almost like every version of every cannon ship, but whatever. That's how I roll in this game. Don't judge. Well, I guess you can judge, whatever. But yeah, but what I was afraid of, even before the announcement of the second legendary bundle, was this is the last time they're going to do that. And I called it, because you would make more money on the legendary ships if you sold them separately. And what was the next one that came out? The Romulan one. And this came out at, I can't remember what it was, 6,000? 6,000? So how I justified in my head was I went at 19,500 plus the, I think the sale price was 6,000. And then, so that's 11 ships, so I divided by 11. The still ships came in at 23 Zen each. 23.18, 23.20. So yeah, again, messing with that. In my head, that's how I justified that. All these extras, what it made me do was create a new Romulan alt, just so that I can get the benefits of the leveling up, all that stuff that came with it. Was this worth the price of $60 then? I don't know. I don't know. But I have to say, for some reason, the design of this ship, I wasn't a Tillis fan, but the refit, I liked it. The nacelles, and what really, I think, for me, just sold it was just the bird underneath. Like, this design here, that was, I don't know, it looked good, looked cool. And actually, this ship ended up going on my main Romulan, my first Romulan, and got a torp build on it, and it does good, so it's a good ship. And then it came up, what, the Walker? Yeah, for another 6K Zen. So, sorry, just so that I can try to keep justifying in my head and not say it hurts. So divided by now by 12 ships, still underneath the 3K Zen. So 2625. So it was justified for me because I had the Zen, bought it. Is it enough? I already had the walker actually, which I will say I do like the walker. I do like the walker design, not this, the original Canon skin. And I have my AOD flying it now. He was flying the tier 4 one, the leveling up tier 4, but of course I switched it to this. And yeah, it's a great ship. I gladly went for it because still the ships came in at 2625, still under the 3,000 Zen threshold of a ship that you can buy in the Zen store. So even on sale, these ships are 26. Now, what hurt was how much it cost you to buy all at once, especially the first legendary bundle. So that turned a lot of people off, but I saw a lot of, I'll start saving for this. Of course, we saw the talks of the calls for breaking them out, but again, to make them, like, this is a free-to-play game, but I understand, like, you can't pay to keep the lights on with free. You just can't. You know, you need to feed the hamsters, right? You need to keep the servers going. You need to pay the devs they've done a good job, man. And like the reskins, oh, man, they're beautiful. You know, like sometimes I spend hours just looking at my ships, not even playing the game. I just look at the ships because of the good job they've done and keeping it as canon as possible, the original skins. I can appreciate the new skins, but I usually just mess with the original canon skin. I'll try different variations at first. There was one on the Galaxy that I absolutely flew on my Eng for a bit. I think I used, I don't know what, it lowered the saucer, made it more streamlined look, and beefed it up. The Venture neck. Everything Galaxy and then the Venture neck. And then recently, actually, when they came with the Legendary Ross, I used a saucer with that, and that made it almost like a different looking ship altogether. I didn't like the deflector, so I had to keep it with stay with the Galaxy, but it made it look good. So, anyways, and then of course we have this bundle, and what did I buy it for? So 50K minus 31,250, like 18,750. Okay, so 18,750 plus the 19,500 plus the 1,800 for the 2 legendary bundle ships. So 250K Zen to buy these ships. Now you divide that by the 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Let's say you divide 56,250 by 16. 35.15 each. Zen. I would even put in a low buy ship at this point in time. Still reasonable to me, because the Zen ship is 3,000, so a bit more of that for the legendary. Worth it. Again, I think just turns a lot of people off. Again, I look at it this way, so it makes sense to me. And again, I don't have to spend real life money on it, thankfully. So I guess my conclusion for this is really, it's up to you. You know, everyone plays Stowe differently. You got your DPSers, you got your RPers, your casual players like me. I mess with both worlds. But you also have those who do space barbing or collect ships or whatever. And this, I had all these ships regardless. The only ship that I wouldn't have had in terms of cannon is that skin, the Bop skin. So, but I love the Vorch. I love the streamlined look that you can kit bash with the Horatio and the Repulse, or the Ambassador and Excelsior. I have no regrets. I know I would have gotten it anyways, so you can't really, I can't really complain as much. Again, I can, but still. So yeah, it's worth it. And for me, playing this game, for the sole purpose of, this is kind of like my jam. This is my first MMO actually. I don't play for performance much, I don't play for DPS. So for the casual player in me, the RPer in me, keeping the ship's cannon made it worth for me. You can play this game any you want. You can chase deeps if you want, but if you just look for looks, that's a whole nother game as well, right? So any path you take, I think it's going to spend money. It's going to cost money. So, but yeah, like, you can play Stone any you want. And actually what I did, when I first came, I remember being helped by an individual, Zero, shout out to Zero, taught me the way of Stowe then. So he told me I had to go cannons, and I said, well, how about a torp? He's like, no. So my MVAE, my Prometheus, I set up with cannons, but I still put at that time, the grav torp. So all cannons, turrets in the back. I do remember I chased it at that point because I kept dying fighting the Borg. And I made it a goal that I'm going to take you down, because I think one of the things that made me chase the deeps, I saw a Defiant take down attack cube in like seconds at that point in time. This is pre-DR, so this is when we still had the elites version of like all the Borg TFOs. But yeah, when I reached that day that I can take a whole side of Kittimer by myself, that was, but then after that it's like, man, then something else came out, then you had to grind for it or pay for it or whatever, and I just decided, man, my ship doesn't look right. So what I did was I stuck Mark 10 very rare weapons on it. 2 phasers, 2 torps, 4, 2 phasers, a torp, aft. And man, the difference it did visually for me got me back to those days when I was playing the older Star Trek games like Star Trek, Starfleet Command, Bridge Commander. Love those games, and we still don't have a ship from one of those games here, Stowe, and it's like such an insult to the Norway. Come on, man, get the Norway in here, make it legendary, I'll buy it. But anyways, so from there, I also started the Star Trek Battles channel, and when I first started that, I found people in the Stowe community who felt the same way and or was already playing that way. So, and you know how it is when you get together with like-minded people and you have the same interests, you're gonna have a good time. And that's how Star Trek Battles channel started. Feel bad if Horatio was talking to me all this time, but sometimes he'll just, yeah. So yeah, I started the Star Trek Battles channel for a good solid year or two. Just did everything with that group. It wasn't a fleet, it was a channel. So anyone can join. Only rules that we had was keep it canon. Faction specific, but keep it canon. So your phasers, your torps, your disruptors, your Romulan, you can go both ways. For me, as long as it was green, that's fine. And the rules that we had was like dumb it down too, like replace all your weapons with Mark 10 blue at that time. But I said you can keep your space set because that doesn't really affect much survivability. Well, we actually need survivability because the old crystalline entity, yeah, we needed that. Or the old elites still with the Borg, yeah, they'd still drain your shield. So we would keep our space set and or even consoles at max. You just had to look the part, but that did nerf us just changing our weaponry back to Mark 10 rare. Some even just went, at the time, the highest Mark 12, common. So, but yeah, it got me to find people who love canon and love building the ships that way. And there's a lot of people like that still. And you know, over the years with time and people have gone, the Star Trek Battles channel has turned more into like a nerd out channel. So that's where we discuss stuff that happens in the game, but if anything, we talk about how pretty ships are, because I love my ship porn. And just nerd out, geek out. So what's great about Stowe, and I can only speak for Stowe, is you can do whatever you want. You can play how you want. You can play this game solo. You don't need to really interact with anyone, but again, finding people that is like-minded like you is awesome. So again, if you're into DPS, DPS it out. You know, if you're Space Barbie, spend your whole time in the Taylor, knock yourself out. Cannon builds, heck yeah. Do it up, you know, and it's such a great gamer, and you can go anywhere you want. And it's, yeah, it'd be great if you can meet a couple people and you know, enjoy Star Trek for what it is, or for what it is for you, I should say. So, but yeah, I quite enjoy this game still, and I knew with the Star Trek shows that it would trickle into Stowe, but I didn't think it would trickle into as fast as it did. But it did, and I'm so happy it did. So happy. And one of the Titan, man, they finally made that canon. To me, it was canon. I don't know, just to me, I'll say it's canon just cause. So, for the most part, when they showed that on Lower Decks, it just solidified it especially for a lot of people. And then the reskin they did, whew, I mean, come on, like, let's have a look at her. Let us have a look at her. This is my first side tune I ever made. And I made a Borg, because why not? Okay, chill. Yep. I mean, look at this, man. This it ticked all the boxes for me. It ticked all the boxes. Like, And I love these like weapon pods. And I'm glad that, again, they remodeled it after the show, the ship in the show, how it came out. The fact that you can go tactical mode or psi mode is bonus. But like, here's an example. I don't really, I don't build my tunes like, okay, well, it's all golded, but whatever. Over time, okay, not all at once. So I mean, look at this. He still has like, what is that? Very rare? Yeah, very rare stuff. You know, very. So I mean, he can do well. Fly him out a little bit. See how well he can do. Let's go. I will go tactical mode though. Oh god, I love that tactical mode. Let's see if we can take that battleship out. You can take the battleship out? Oh, take the shields out, see how it likes that. Alright, let's do this just because you're gonna go out. Speed here, I'm losing. Do that, and then spit out some. Oh, come on. Look at that. From the console. Torps. Buy shields. No? Hello? No? You didn't? I don't know why I did it, maybe because I was too far, but. Fly away. Ah, beam overload. Yeah, see? I can take out a battleship all by myself, yay. And look good doing it. I have the phasers, the torps. You know, DPS can, kill things like seconds earlier, but that's, I don't know. Doesn't give me a chance to do a flyby pass and shoot 3 torps at my aft end. So, you know, I love doing that. Phasers, torps coming at your target, broadsiding, flying away, almost giving them the finger for with the high yield. But yeah, like this was a good remodel. This for sure was it was in such need of a good remodel, and they did good. The only thing I don't get was why is there kind of, look at this tip of the saucer there? It's kind of like dense there. Not dense, but like it's round. It's a continuous round, and then all of a sudden kind of just dents there. But they modeled it after the ship in the show. I can't complain. Well, I guess I just did, but you know what I mean. So yeah, I love this ship. Underslung nacelles. Yeah, mess with that. Miranda. Oh. Why? What's that? Oh, I activated this. Whoops. Anyways. But yeah, so that's just my thoughts. I had to get my thoughts on the Legendary bundle out there because there's no one I can really speak to at home. I got a wife, 2 kids, and I can start talking Star Trek to them and tell them blue in the face, and they should be like, yeah. So I'd rather talk to someone out there, anyone out there about this, and again, try to find like-minded people. Yeah, if you're in Stowe and you like to mess with canon builds, feel free to join the Star Trek Battles channel. You know, shout out to my boys too, Horatio, Waldo, Steve, Theron, Zero. I'm missing a lot of Dom, a lot of the regulars that I talk to daily. But if you ever feel like you want to canon it out and fly with like-minded people, self-nerf yourself. Self-nerf, doesn't make sense. Yeah, join the Star Trek Battles channel. I think it's open, so anyone can join. The only thing we ask is keep it canon, or kindly get out. We don't need rainbow beans and builds. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying you don't really see it in Canada much. Although the Enterprise D did find multi phasers and it did fire a green phaser. But I won't be doing that. I won't be messing with that. So yeah, open invitation. Just keep a cannon. That's it. Be nice. If you ever just want to nerd out, shoot, we nerd out here and there. It depends on who's on. I live in Canada, so right now it's like 10:51. So it's pretty late, but this is the time I play, usually after work, before I go to sleep. So I'll start playing around 9 and go until 9 until 12, 1, depends. Depends on how tired I am or how early I have to wake up. I still gotta keep my duties, so I can't be playing this all the time. But yeah, you know, definitely, if you ever are wanting to give full cannon shot, I say try it. I would say try it. So I know a lot of people would watch this afterwards. I seem to have a lot of people watch this, some of the stuff that I've streamed afterwards. But yeah, the invitation is there. I'm just gonna be messing about a little bit here. But I need to go to my setup. This is not my. I don't have a proper room where I play, really, to be honest with you. I have like a rocking game chair, and that's about it. But anyways, I just wanted to get my thoughts out there because I couldn't keep them inside. There's like no one I can talk to about it, how I felt about this legendary bundle or legendary ships in general. I expect any legendary ships bundles to come out to be the way it has been the past year. So it sucks. I hope I have enough to cover it. But you'd be looking at the rest of the Klingon ships. So the Bort, right? The D7s. You got your 3 versions of all the whole timelines, all of the timelines that we have to worry about, or not worry about, but we'll have. I'm not sure how they're going to do that. If they're going to release its own bundle, like just a D7 bundle. I hope they just make it good. And then you got the Bort. Like, what else ship are we missing then? You know, the Negvar. I originally thought we were going to get all that in a KDF bundle because, you know, Year of the Klingon. So that would have, like, the Bop, Vorch, Neg, D7, Bort. Actually, this is my original thoughts. So I thought they were going to do the 5 Klingon ships and then the 5 Romulan ships. So the Tlis, the DD, the Daradex, the Valdor, the Simi, and I'm missing a ship. Oh God, sorry. But there was a ship there, I thought, somewhere. I could have missed it on either side, but I thought that is what they were going to do. But of course, it makes sense. Again, money-wise, though this is a free-to-play game, they had to do things to pay the bills, you know. But really, to anyone who's starting, I'm going to tell you right now, you can get anything in game over time. And I won't talk on how. I may in another stream, but it just takes time and patience, really, and not buying every shiny new thing. I mean, for me, I've stayed within the parameters that I play the game for. Canon. So I've stuck with Canon ships. The last non-Canon ship that I bought, or bundle, or ships I bought, that I actually somewhat regretted, was the Federation Command Cruisers when they first came out. I was like, why did I buy this? You know, because I just ended up going back to the Canon ships. So that's just me. You know, I'm stuck in my ways. A bunch of people are, especially when you get older. I'm getting up there in age, but Star Trek Online has been my escape, especially during this time. You know, and it's been great. You know, to me. It's kept me sane. It's been my wind down through a hectic day, just where I can just come in and take out my aggression on a bunch of NPCs. So, but yeah. But really, the ship that I always go back to, I just can't not go back to. It's just the Galaxy. Just. She is just such a beaut. Like, seriously. Oops. Like, I don't know. It just works for me. And like I said earlier, when I was messing with kit bashing, the Venture neck did the same thing as it did with the new Legendary Federation ships. It just lowered it, and it made it, and it just beefed up this whole section in the secondary hull, and it made it look good, actually. But I messed with it for a bit, but I always end up going back, because I think this was the first view right there that I laid eyes on Enterprise D, on the Galaxy class. And like I said, I could spend hours just looking at ships. I shouldn't, but this is my jam, you know, this is how I jam on Star Trek Online. I was happy with the first reskin they did, and then they reskinned it again. Oh, come on. How could you not be happy with this? Just looks so good, to me at least. And hey, a lot of people, it'll be Klingons or other type designs or the other alien type ships, but this just speaks to me, the Federation design, for some reason. Nice simple saucer, secondary missiles. She works, man. Yeah, that's kind of really what I wanted to do, is just get that out of my head. I really did. So to those who are listening, to those who will be listening, I hope this helps. But I think I'll end it in there. I must still mess around and stow a little bit, but anyways, thanks for those who listen. Thanks to those who will be listening, if they decide to. But yeah, just have to get that out there. I may do this a little bit more, talk about other stuff like grinding, how to grind, like this being one of my main tunes. Like I said, he's also at the 5 million refined, right? So, and got a bunch of marks. So all this stuff, just time. It's time. So, anyways, like I said, open invitation to anyone who wants to join the Star Trek Battles channel. Online, I'm Trizeo. My handle's at Trizeo1. Right? Yeah. Sorry, it is. So it's at Trizeo1. If you're ever in game, you want to just geek out, canon out, hit me up in game. You know, we'll do some patrols, we'll do some TFOs, or just nerd out, man. Jeez. talk about anything. Anyways, I'm gonna end it there for sure. So, but I'll still be online tonight because I want to mess around with some ships. Anyways, everyone take care. Be safe. Wear your mask. Social distance. I would rather use physical distance, but whatever. This time it is what it is. And yeah, hopefully we'll meet some of you in game and maybe even talk to you on stream, whatever. I do this because I just want to geek out. The geek in me needs to be released. So anyways,